Welcome to Drill Down Earnings. We have the latest quarterly results from Cadence Design Systems. I'm Cory Johnson, the Chief Market Strategist for the Futurum Group. Interesting quarter from Cadence. This company is so important because it designs, it's a software used to design chips. And of course, when we hear about all the exciting things happening with AI, whether it's in the data center or in devices like your PC you're gonna buy someday, or the phone you're gonna buy someday, and maybe the car you're gonna buy someday, the software to design all that stuff comes first. That's what the designers are using to design the future of semiconductors and beyond. So this quarter is important for this company. Q2 earnings out, and they were a beat. Wall Street likes a beat or a miss. Sure, we'll give them a beat. Just mean the analysts got it wrong. Let's look a little deeper here. So $1.061 billion in revenues, operating margins of 28%. When you strip out all the things that they actually spend money on, they don't want us to look at that. They will give us a non-GAAP operating margin of 40%. It takes out things like stock options and other junk. But fundamentally, earnings of 84 cents, pretty good quarter from this company. When we look beyond the headline numbers, what they talked about in the conference call were the things that drove a sales rebound were AI, hyperscale, and automotive customers. And I thought it was really encouraging to hear about automotive, spending in automotive. The company, quick to point out, the company's design, whether they're able to sell stuff or not, that they're not necessarily tied to overall revenues for their end customers, but also saying on the conference call, they're kind of also tied to overall revenue for their end customers. So within the results, I thought it was really interesting to see what was happening in China. I'm thinking a lot about what's happening with chip design in China, how much China is going to have the opportunity to use advanced semiconductor manufacturing gear, which is to say not much thanks to export controls from the European Union and from the US. And indeed, you saw $121 million, $122 million, or $121.1 million in revenues in a quarter from China. And while that was still just under 13% of sales, same as last quarter, it does represent a consistent decline for this company. I think it's something to keep an eye on when you look across all the results from semiconductor companies and see just what China is doing and what China isn't doing in the semiconductor space. So how the stock react when the numbers came out? Well, because the bookings number that they gave us, $6 billion for the year, $3.1 billion in the next 12 months, it wasn't super strong. It's exactly the same as it was last quarter, even though the revenues were up. I think maybe that was a little disappointment. Initially the stock jumped, then it fell, and they got on the conference call and basically said, everyone calm down, don't worry about it. So you've got a stock that's up 20% over the course of the last 12 months. When the CEO was asked about where this health is coming from, where the business is coming from, why he sounded sort of kind of steady Eddie on the call, Anirudh Devgan, the CEO, talked about all the places they're seeing growth and how R&D spending is connected to the rest of their business.
So we are encouraged to see the improvement in semi spending overall, semiconductor revenue. So I would like to say, and you can see in our backlog also, we maintain a pretty healthy backlog. So overall, I think things are performing well, and this AI is broadening out.
So AI driving things for Cadence Design, and I think that's, we're going to like that kind of reinsurance as the stock markets gets asked some questions about what's going on in AI and will the benefit be there. Bottom line is companies are spending money on the design, and we're hearing it from Cadence Design. So what's the one number that tells us a whole lot? The Drill Down Earnings Bite. We'll have that number for you with a summary of these results right after this.
The Drill Down is brought to you by Futurum Group, where analysts, researchers, advisors, content creators, and marketing experts help business leaders anticipate and understand shifts in their industries and build strategies to leverage disruptive innovation. With deep analysis, Futurum Group's extensive industry experience delivers reliable research and data, thought leadership, and actionable advice to help you with your strategy and go-to-market efforts. Futurum Group.
So Cadence Design Systems Q2 earnings, here's what you have to know if you forget everything else about the quarter. $1.061 billion, pretty healthy margins, 28% operating margins from the company. But the one number that means a whole lot to me is the rebound in revenue growth, 9% revenue growth. They're saying that's going to get even faster. It's going to be 13% for the full year, but it's really going to pick up at the end of this year thanks to all the business they see coming their way at Cadence Design Systems, which tells us a lot about spending in semiconductors writ large. All right, thanks for listening to Drill Down Earnings. Check me out on X, @CoryTV, @DrillDownPod on Instagram and on TikTok, and at 6.5 Media on YouTube. Robust earnings reports, and lots more. Follow us, like us, dislike us. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you want to hear. Drill Down Earnings, part of 6.5 Media.